It's now time for Inside Dr. Herman's Head with Dr. Jan Herman and Greg Biggshow Larson. To reach Dr. Herman, call 570-420-9670. And now, Dr. Herman.
That felt cozy.
Yeah, what's up, man? That's a flashback.
My theme song is back, and I think it's going to be back for a while. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Polkadot 96.7 and 97.3's Inside Dr. Herman's Head. I am Dr. Jan Herman with my buddy Biggshow, Greg Biggshow Larson.
Like pizza.
Biggshow. We'll get I'll dress up in a toga and say it. Welcome, Biggshow.
Welcome to you.
Let me just mention, while I got you here, that Inside Dr. Herman's Head is brought to you by Thai Orchid. If you're looking for really fresh, 100% authentic, true flavors of Thailand, all you have to do is one visit to Thai Orchid in Stroudsburg, 30 North 9th Street, Route 611.
Nice.
Yeah. Our lead sponsor.
Yeah.
Dr. Herman's would love to hear from you. You ever talk about yourself in third
Dr. Herman would love to hear from you?
Dr. Herman would love to hear from you, but Dr. Herman's getting upset.
Talking like The Rock
like
now.
George Costanza, The Rock.
The Rock says.
The Rock. Well, if you'd like to join us here on Inside Dr. Herman's Head and give us your thoughts, please give us a call on the hotline 570-420-9670. You're a new car owner this week.
I am a new car owner. That's one of the good things that happened, yes.
People say, your buddy Greg got a new car. Yeah, that's right, he did.
That's right.
A new used car.
It's new to me.
You know, when people say they got a new car, I always ask them, is it a new to you or is it new? And whenever they say it's new, I kind of look at them sideways. I'm like, why would you do that? Because a new car...
Crazy, man.
You know, they always say the price drops by a third by the time you pull it out of the lot. And you haven't paid anything for it yet, which is the kind of thing that drives me crazy. If you get a car a year or two old, the bugs have been worked out, if there are any, and, you know, if it was well taken care of, it's like a new car.
It's not a year or two old. It's 10 years old, but still, it's nice. I enjoy my car.
I think I have, except for my smart car, which is a 2013, my newest car is like 13 years old. Wow. The rest of the fleet are all 13 years old and older. Well,
hey, whatever, man.
No, I'm sorry, I have it at 06. Yeah, so 10 years older.
Okay.
But you know what? If you have a little tweak here or there that you have to fix, it doesn't bug you so much. You know?
Right. That's the thing.
It's nothing worse than having to put a big repair into a relatively new car. That'll drive you crazy. But
yeah. Oh, I'd be so mad if I bought a new car and then 2 months down the road you got to do something huge.
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean,
you probably have a warranty then too,
right,
as well.
You can get a lemon, but you know, it's, did I tell you the story about my father's uncle? He bought a brand new Buick Roadmaster, 1953 Roadmaster.
I think he did. Yeah.
And then he picked it up and drove it right through the front of a barbershop. And walked back down the street and got his money back. And he says, "Your car's in the barbershop. Go pick it up."
Yeah.
No brakes. But that happens. It's rare. But and I have had patients actually come in after having an accident with a car that was a day or two old.
Oh yeah, because of some malfunction?
No, just had an accident.
Just had an accident, yeah.
Which happens also. But I'll tell you, all my life I've gotten, quote, new cars.
Yeah.
Cars that were new to me. And it was funny because when I was first growing up, when I was first getting my license, rather, my mother was very, very excited every time I got a new used car.
Yeah.
It was like she herself had gotten it, even though she never drove my cars. And she would spend a lot of time and some expense, actually, to fix up my car to make it as close to new for me as possible, which was really, really nice. Now, there are certain things you do when you buy a used car to kind of give it a little more life.
Yeah.
And I always felt like, even before the expression saving an animal, a rescue animal.
Rescuing, yeah.
I always felt like I was rescuing the car. When I bought a used car, well, I'm going to give you a little some touch-ups, and we're going to try to breathe a little life back into you. So there are certain things you always do when you get a used car. First of all, you have to have an air freshener.
I know, I need to. I haven't done that yet.
You got to get something like the cherry poppin' or something like that, so that the car smells more like anything but the old owner.
Yeah, because especially the guy in mine, I think he was a pipe smoker, which I don't mind that type of smoke that much. It kind of has a sweet thing to it, but I still don't want smoke smell in my car.
But you just want it. I pick the smell.
Yeah,
you know, but the funny thing is, they have that new car smell.
I know.
Let's spray the car with new car scent.
Like? Yeah, what's it supposed to be? Like leather or like just new plastic smell?
New vinyl, new Naugahyde.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, it's not a new car, and if you're trying to masquerade it as a new car, it's not going to work. So what you really need is not offensive used car smell. You don't make that, but you got to get an air freshener. You have to vacuum it out really well. My mother would jump into whatever car I would buy the day I'd buy it and start vacuuming the hell out of it. She would do everything but take the seats out of the car.
Oh my God.
She would grind the vacuum underneath it, and really, she wanted that thing completely new. It was really very sweet. And she would armor all the seats for me, and then touch-up paint. She would actually
go out and buy a little.
She would research the color name, go to the dealer, and actually buy the correct touch-up paint for that color for that year.
Oh, man.
And she was really, very sweet. It was very nice. My mother's done some wacky things, but that was very nice. She sometimes went overboard, though.
Really?
More than
this?
There were things that had to be done. First of all, you have to have a box of tissues. My mother, every car had to have a box of tissues, sometimes one for the front, one for the back. When I was growing up, we had the family station wagon. We had to have 3 boxes of tissues, one for each bench seat. So the box of tissues, a garbage bag.
Okay.
Had to have a garbage bag. Yeah. Before they came out with garbage bags that hooked on here and attached to this, clipped onto that, she had garbage bags that, garbage bag. I had to have a garbage bag. Okay. Back in the 70s, when I got my first cars, a lot of times the dashboard would be cracked.
Okay.
From years of the sun beating down on it when they made the crappy old material.
The old vinyl dashboard.
Yes.
Just
and she would have me go to the J.C. Whitney catalog. Okay, you familiar with that?
I remember that. I do remember
a long time ago. And that catalog had to have a couple of million different SKUs in it. I never saw a catalog with so many different things. And she would have me order carpet.
Oh, you carpeted the dash?
For the dash.
Dude, I always wanted to do that.
Because she didn't want people to see that the dash was cracked.
Yeah.
She said it might be a little cheesy, but it's really nice.
Did you ever see that stuff that they had, too? It was like, fix that crack in the dashboard. It was like this putty that would be like the same color as the dash. Never looked good.
Never looked good. It didn't even. It's supposed to fill the. First of all, the cracks in my dashboard were an inch wide.
And I remember the commercials. It would be like they'd show the guy brushing it on, and then it would cut, and it would be like a brand new dash.
I can't believe that people bought that, or even half of the stuff that's on TV. But that's for another conversation. Another thing was that my mother was very big on, I can't even say without cracking up, she was really big on pinstripes.
My mother keeps saying that too, all the time. Oh, Greg, did you notice your truck has pinstripes? I did. I actually didn't.
I didn't either. It sounds like I even noticed. But when I was a kid, my mother went out when I got a new car, a new used car, and would pinstripe my car for me. I caught her. She wasn't working at the time. She had time to go into the garage and actually pinstripe my car. She said, "I'm going to put a wide one and then a narrow one." Thanks, Mom.
There's one thing that my mom always did every time I got a new car, and she actually didn't do it this time. Mom, you're slacking. But and I wonder about this. It's like a traditional thing.
I bet I can guess what it is.
Like a superstitious thing or whatever?
Yes, go
What's
ahead.
with people throwing a handful of change on the floor in your car?
Oh, no, that's not mine. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Every time I'd get a new car, my mother would be like, "Here you go, good luck changing." Like, just throw it on the floor. And you're supposed to leave it there. It's good luck.
Leave it there?
Yeah.
You'll vacuum it up and you do a car wash.
I have no idea. And my whole life, I've just always known about that. And I'm like, okay. And I've known other people that do it, too. But nobody's got an answer for me where it came from, what it's about.
Can you imagine having an accident and you get taken to the emergency room and there's an imprint of a quarter on your forehead? And then what happened to you? Well, you're going to be blind in one eye because a dime got stuck in there.
But it was a good luck dime.
No, for our family, it was a red bow.
A red bow.
A red ribbon or a red bow. When somebody gets a new car, new or used, you give them a red bow for good luck, and they actually tie it behind the rearview mirror or somewhere around the dashboard or whatever.
No, this was a handful of change on the floor.
Oh,
the passenger side. They go, bring.
So you always have something sliding on the floor.
You pull it up to the tolls. It's like, oh, great.
Man.
But I don't know.
Another thing is that we had a 2-car garage, and always, and this is kind of bizarre to actually you could fit a car in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't do that now. But at least one of the garages, if not both, was always wide enough, or rather clean enough to fit a car in. And whenever I got my mother drove a Cadillac. She drove a big, beautiful Fleetwood Brougham mini limousine. It was actually, it was decked out with a lot of extra stuff because it belonged to the owner of the Cadillac dealership.
Oh, wow.
She bought it used from him. And it had the flip down footrests in the back. It was
that's awesome.
Like a mini stretch.
Yeah, right. They came out of the front seats, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
It was not a full stretch, like a mini stretch or whatever. And it fit in our garage. So I guess we had a deep garage. But this is one of the nice things she did. Whenever I got a new used car, even though it was used, it could have been 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, beaten up or whatever. For at least a week after I bought it, I got to keep it in the garage. She would park her caddy out in the driveway so I could keep mine in the garage. I guess until the pinstriping dried.
That's what it was. She was worried. Yeah, she wanted to work on it, and the garage was closer to the house.
Exactly. She didn't want the pinstriping messed up. Thank you, Mom. Love you, Mom, and I appreciate all that stuff that you did for my car now. But it was nice. There was one thing that I did every time I bought a used car, and I learned this during the years that I was in chiropractic college because I had a patient who built race cars.
Oh, yeah, all right.
And again, he's talking about him is a whole bunch of stories, and that's for another time. But one of the things that I would complain about all the time, and I still do, is when people tailgate me. I don't like being tailgated.
I don't like it either.
It doesn't happen nowadays quite as much as I remember it happening when I was younger.
On back roads, I'll get it.
But yeah, well, that's true. But but even on the highways, I don't get as much of it as I used to.
Yeah, it's not as big there.
But when I was a kid, and when I was going to school in South Carolina for a chiropractic college, a lot of tailgating. So this mechanic that was a patient of mine in my internship, he said, "I'm going to put something into your car it's going to help you a lot with it." And I said, "What?" He says, "Just give me the car for a couple of hours." And what he did was he put, on the side on the door where the electric controls are for the windows, and he put a button there.
Okay.
He says, "Oh, it's all done." So I went to go see it. I sat down.
He gave you a James Bond upgrade?
Exactly. He gave me James Bond upgrade. And I thought it was the coolest thing. I said, "A button?" He said, "It was a red button."
Yeah.
Just like the red button I have over here to hit when you curse. Okay. And I said, "Well, what is it for?" He says, "When you push this button, the brake lights come on."
Oh, nice.
He said, "You can hit the gas pedal and speed up at the same time that the person behind you thinks you're hitting the brake."
Yeah.
To get away from them. Because the other alternative to get somebody off your butt is to slam on your brakes and take a chance to get a hit.
Then you're they're going to hit you in the
Right,
back.
so he said this way you can speed up and get away from them, but make them think you're hitting the brake.
That's cool.
And every time I got a new car, I put that in because I saw how he did it. I traced it out up to a certain point. I don't do it anymore because I don't have time and patience. But I can't tell you the number of people that were tailgating me over the years that I sent spinning into ravines because they thought I was hitting the brake. It's something that I think every car should have.
That's pretty cool.
It should be. They can call it the false brake alarm, brake light if you want. But it would be a fantastic addition to any vehicle. I think it would be a great accessory.
I wonder if there's a law. I wonder if that would be breaking some kind of a law.
Why? Well, why?
Well, you just said it. How many cars you've been putting in ravines and everything?
At least they didn't hit you.
No, at least they didn't hit you, but it caused an accident.
No, it didn't cause the accident. Them
Just
being
ran
too
them off
close
the
to you.
road, yeah.
No, them being too close. It's not like Jason had squirted oil and they were sliding off the road.
The smoke machine or the.
If they weren't too close to me, then they wouldn't be flying off the road.
No, I hear you. Yeah. I just don't know because the brake thing. That's a huge part of the inspection process on your.
It works fine with the pedal. It works fine.
Yeah, I just wonder if that would be.
If anybody has any opinions on that, let us know. Because I don't think that would be against the law.
Can you tamper with your brake lights? I want to know.
No. Give us a call at 570-420-9670. I'm just checking the time over here. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break and then come back in 2 minutes and move on.
Street, in the office downtown, the factory by the river, and the farm down the road. It's because of people like Reggie in finance and Ruth, the paramedic. Keisha, the designer, has it, and so does Orlando, the nurse. They live around here. They care about this community. They work hard to succeed, and that makes a difference. At Poconos HelpWanted.com, we're proud to work the hometown advantage. We work it around the clock, connecting local employers and local job seekers with local jobs they're good at, jobs they deserve. Post your job today and search a database of resumes to find, select, and hire the best local employees. Employees who live close by, close to family and friends, close to home. That's the hometown advantage. PoconosHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
I admitted I was powerless over my addiction, that my life had become unmanageable. I had tried to quit on my own, but it never worked. I was searching for an answer when I reached out and found Narcotics Anonymous. I came to my first NA meeting in defeat and didn't know what to expect. Surrounded by fellow addicts, I realized I was not alone. I heard them talk about the same feelings I was afraid to share. Recovery is what happens in NA meetings. It didn't matter what drug or how much I used. In Narcotics Anonymous, I learned it is possible to stop using drugs. I don't have to do it alone. Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help. 570-421-6618. 570-421-6618.
You're listening to Inside Dr. Herman's Head every Sunday night starting at 7 o'clock right here on Pocono 96.7. And now, back to the Good Doctor.
All
right. Let's talk for a second about Thai orchid.
Yes.
You know, I always keep a menu nearby because I eat a lot of Thai food. And not just because
Yes,
they're
you
our
do.
sponsor. I love Thai food, and I love the way that Kanye makes it over to Thai orchid. But I'm going to do this thing, I think, each week where I'm going to just open the menu here, and I'm just going to
randomly grab
throw
something.
a dart at the menu,
Yeah.
and then
I love darts. Let's play.
and maybe if it picks up a little basil, maybe I'll use the dart. No, I'm going to pick something out and just close my eyes and...
What do we land on?
Ooh.
It's a good one?
Pineapple fried rice.
Ah.
You know, fried rice, a lot of people have fried rice when they get Chinese food.
Yeah.
Very, very different in Thai food. Not spicier, but different. Different. It has, they put raisins in, onions, cashews.
Oh, yeah,
that kind
totally
of thing.
different, yeah.
But when they put the pineapple in, you get the sweetness that is so phenomenal. Plus, you can get it with protein in it if you want a beef, pork, or chicken.
That'd be awesome.
Pineapple fried rice at Thai orchid, absolutely insane. 570-421-1717. I'm going to go political for a second.
All right.
The lying is getting out of sight.
Lying? What are you talking about? Government? No.
The lying, you know what? And it's not just King Trump and everything that he said.
King Trump? Is
yes,
what you just
King
called
Trump.
him?
Well, he's not the president. Jared Kushner's the president. Oh, we have a caller?
We do have a caller.
As soon as
Let's
I
get it.
mentioned King Trump.
You ready?
Yep. Welcome to Inside Dr. Herman's Head. Who do we have with us tonight?
Hello, this is Mark Lee Starberg.
Mark, how's it going, my man?
Hey, Mark.
Pretty good. I wanted to let you guys know and everybody else that you already do have a switch like that. It's called your four-way flasher. You click it on, let it give a couple flashes, click it off.
Oh, yeah, but you know what?
That's a point right there because they think you're slowing down because something's wrong with the car.
I've tried that. I have tried that, Mark, and I don't have people really slow down as much or as quickly. And my whole goal to this thing is to get them off my butt as soon as possible. And if they see it flashing, it's not as much as the actual.
That's right. Because either way, it doesn't flash. It stays on.
Exactly. And you know what? I think the brake lights
I see what you mean.
are actually brighter than flashers. I think your flashers don't shine as brightly as
brake lights need to really alert you. You know what I mean? They need to be in your face.
Yeah. I think when you put a flasher on, it turns it on just to the extent that your headlights are on or your taillights are on. So it's nothing more than that. But when you actually hit the brake lights, then...
Love you guys.
All right, Mark.
man.
Thanks a lot,
Take
man.
it easy.
That's great. I'm convinced. My microphone is not hooked up to the phone.
I don't know if maybe it's because he's listening to the radio in the back and it's an 8-second delay thing going on and it's getting mixed up. Like, I don't know.
Is it only him?
I don't know because I mean,
I don't know.
Hey, somebody else, give us a call and let us know what's happening.
Let me know if you can hear me on the phone. I don't know. It's bizarre.
Dr. Herman can't be heard on the phone or something.
Anyway, what was I talking about? King Trump.
The king.
You know what? He's certainly not the president. Everybody else is the president. Steve Bannon was the president for a little while.
but he's
Then
not
Jared
the king,
Kushner,
man. He's not
Jared
the king.
Kushner is the president now. No, he thinks he is, though.
Elvis
So,
is. Come on.
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Trump goes on, does his next State of the Union or something, wearing the white jumpsuit.
No,
With the
I
rhinestones.
can't handle it. I'm an Elvis fan, bro. I can't handle that.
Gosh, but you know what? Everything he promised, he's not doing. Everything he's gone back on a lot of things that he said, but the people around him are doing that now. Like that guy Flynn.
Yeah, what's this guy all about?
It's not so much that he lied, and then he knew that he lied, and then he actually.
I'm a little bit out of the loop. What do you lie about?
This is the guy that was involved so much in the Russian thing.
Right.
And he went running back and forth
right.
from the
Yep,
State House,
yeah.
from the White House to the Capitol, and back and forth.
I just forgot who. Yeah.
And then he eventually they fired him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm confusing him with the other guy with this Nunes. No,
jeez.
Flynn was the first guy that was his chief of staff, and he fired him. Okay, fired him and put a general in his place. But the thing is, now Flynn says that he's ready to talk about the Russian thing and give up all this information as long as he gets immunity.
Oh.
But the interesting thing is that 7 or 8 months ago during the campaign, when he was campaigning for Trump and they were talking about Hillary Clinton, he said, and they were talking about people wanting immunity from the scandal about her email or something.
Yeah.
He said anybody who wants immunity for something is guilty of something.
Is guilty, and here he is.
Here he is asking for
Yeah.
immunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of thing keeps coming back to bite people in the ass. It happened to John McCain also.
Yeah.
Who's not necessarily a supporter of Trump. He waffles back and forth.
Yeah, he's a flopper.
Right, but he recently said that anybody who would be on board with attacking Syria would be an idiot.
Yeah, didn't we just do something to him?
Yes, I
Just
think it was
bombed
Syria.
them, didn't we?
You know what? I hate to sound like an idiot, but it was either the Syria or the
Trump did, right? We just.
Yes, well, we sent in 60 missiles and bombed the hell out of it.
Jeez.
And it was ineffective because they were using the airfield later on that day.
Yeah.
But he said anybody who would be on board with that would be an idiot, and then he went ahead.
Yeah.
And he suggested that they bomb. So everybody's flip-flopping all over the place and going back on what they said. And,
Well, he didn't get his paycheck that week, and then now he did, so.
That's I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
changes
how
a lot
works.
of people's opinion.
When the boss won't sign the check,
Yeah.
you're fired. Who said that? Man. But you know what? Somebody said to me the other day that they were talking to an immigrant who was talking about how interesting it was when we have the two political parties, and it's like having two teams. They were describing to their child about the two political parties and how it's like having two teams, like the Giants and the Jets.
Yeah, Yankees
or having
and the
the
Mets.
Yankees and the Mets. But you know what? It really isn't like that. That's apples and oranges, because when you have two teams playing each other in a game, one is trying to beat the other. Mm-hmm. One is trying to eradicate the other. Okay? We forget something in this country, and I think a lot of people don't think about this very much. Our two parties are supposed to be working together for the good of the country.
Yeah, exactly. They are pretty much one and the same. I mean,
but they're fighting. The fighting is so bad, nothing gets done, and the country doesn't move forward. The country actually moves backwards in many ways. Mm-hmm. They think it's a game. They think it's two teams in Washington, and they're fighting each other constantly. And who is thinking of the good of the country?
No one.
Nobody.
No one cares. Especially those guys don't care, man. It's all just it's rich versus poor, and I'm rich and I don't care, and that's what it is.
That really
so
is.
it is a game. It really is a game because
the only concern of the rich is to make sure they don't lose their station.
They don't lose their
So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that everybody fell asleep at the switch. The general idea of what the government is there for has been completely lost, which is why we need such a reboot in this country.
For the people, by the people. What?
Yeah, the people.
When?
The people? Oh, you mean the people outside Washington, D.C.? They still exist? They're so annoying. The constituents. Oh, man.
Thanks for bringing me down.
I'll bring you up now. How's that?
What's going on?
It's all about smelling good.
Smelling good.
I was out the other day shopping for shampoo,
Yeah.
and I was noticing how the shampoo section is worse than the cereal section.
Shampoo section is pretty awesome.
It's a veritable civil war over there. When did we decide that every part of our body has to smell like a different fruit?
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, I do remember a day when it was just the shampoo aisle was just like, look, clean your hair. Do you want conditioner or what? And that's it. And
now if your
it's
hair
like,
doesn't smell like coconut.
Well, that's the whole thing. Coconut, all this stuff. I mean, the stuff I got right now makes my head smell like a cucumber.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I should say my beard, not my head.
Your
but,
beard.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. Does the smell stay on the hair or does it stay on the scalp?
I don't know, but my face smells like a cucumber after
you still wash your head, though, don't you?
Yeah, of
right.
course,
So,
yeah.
so your head will still smell good.
I guess so.
I assume it stays on the skin.
I guess so, yeah.
But the head, I think, is coconut is the flavor of the
Coconut's been around for a real long time. I don't know.
They're not coming out with, you got cucumbers. That's,
Yeah.
cucumbers I thought was
And then another one I
face.
had was really nice. I had green apple. That was really nice, too.
Why? Why the fruits?
I don't know. Hey, I don't know.
Under the arms, in the crotch, in the nose. Everybody smells like a strawberry. What's going on? I just thought it was funny. You go from the shampoo aisle to the deodorant aisle to the lotion aisle you could smell like an entire fruit basket by the time you finish getting ready to go out of the house. Some people do.
Yeah, some people do. Or, like, today, like, this is one thing, a pet peeve I got.
Uh-huh.
You know that patchouli stuff?
Patchouli. You got to really be in the mood for
My
patchouli.
God,
smell.
man.
That's
Like,
strong.
I was in the supermarket just before we started the show, and I just smelled it. You know what I mean? There was no one in my aisle. I just smelled it.
Yeah.
And then I came into an aisle with the person, and it was so strong.
You know what?
It's just like
that's a flower, a combination of flower. The patchouli is a flower. I know
Is that what it is?
It's a
'Cause
flower,
that's
yeah.
furthest thing for flowers to me.
This is the weird thing, though. Flowers are liked by some people and not liked by other people. But you never really heard somebody complain about somebody smelling like a grapefruit.
Yeah.
You know, people smell. Fruits are generally, more accepted by more people.
No, it's true. I mean, like,
But the patchouli and the jasmine and
Ooh.
the eucalyptus and the things that people put on, it's not everybody likes those.
I mean, I don't mind, like, it's just the patchouli. Like, I have a jasmine, like, because I have one of those diffusers where you put the oils in.
Right.
Jasmine I've had in there. Eucalyptus I've had in there. That stuff's kind of nice. But
Some are stronger than others. Yeah,
that patchouli, though, man, that stuff is heavy duty.
yeah. I'm not crazy about patchouli myself. But when somebody's around with it, you definitely know it.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, Inside Dr. Herman's Head is brought to you by Thai Orchid. Thai Orchid has many natural vegan selections. The authentic taste of Thailand. Thai Orchid in Strasbourg, 30 North 9th Street, Route 611.
Vegan.
Vegan.
Yeah, I did the veggie thing for a while, man. Vegan's tough, though.
You know, I think I mentioned to you once before how the tofu eaters like to make the tofu taste like like beef and pork and everything.
Right.
And why would they do that,
Why,
right?
yeah.
Well, I actually cooked a piece of steak the other day, and I overcooked it because I lost track of the time. And it had so little taste when I got to it. Tasted like tofu. I actually made beef taste like tofu.
I like tofu, man. I don't know. I don't mind it.
I said it's no taste by itself, though, right?
Not really. I mean, yeah, you got to put it with something like what is it? Buddha's Delight. Like if you're in a Chinese restaurant, you order Buddha's Delight. It's like the veggies with the whatever sauce and the tofu. I love
Well, nobody's
that. That's
eating
good.
just tofu.
Yeah, I hear that. I get
It's
it.
like there's no taste. There's no.
It's
All right.
soy.
This is another thing. You were talking just before the show about starting to go back to eating low carb.
Yeah.
No carb, right?
Yeah, I'd like to do
Which
that.
I've done for a very long time, and
Yes.
I've been doing it lately a little bit more.
I need to.
One of the biggest complaints that people have in our society is that cheap food, which is not healthy for you, is so easy to get.
Right.
And it made me wonder, why don't we have drive-ups for fast food, right?
Right.
You don't have to get out of your car, turn the car off. You order in a speaker, you pick it up, and you can eat while you're driving and sitting in the car. How difficult would it be to have the exact same setup with healthier food?
It wouldn't.
Why can't you just drive up and say, I'll have a fruit salad, or I'll have a salad, or I'll have whatever, something healthy?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Whatever it may cost more or less. I have no idea, but why isn't there a place where you can drive up and get healthy food?
It should be. There's got to be somewhere. I'd imagine that somebody's doing this.
I have never heard of it.
You know?
Never, ever heard of it.
Some rich joints in Beverly Hills or something like that.
I'm not driving to Beverly Hills for a salad. Now, admittedly, you can't eat that kind of stuff with one hand while you're driving.
No, but
you're not supposed to eat fast food with one hand either while you're driving.
You shouldn't be eating, driving anything, but...
There's no law against it.
No.
There's no law against it.
There's a law against talking on your phone, but there's no law against eating a burger while you're driving.
Yes, you can eat a burger while you're driving. You just can't tell anybody about it.
Can't tell anybody about it. See, I don't understand the phone thing either. Now, I can understand texting and looking at the phone. I get it. But talking on the phone is just like if someone's sitting in the passenger seat to me.
Well, because they say it's because you're taking at least one hand off the steering wheel. But the thing is...
What if you have the headset?
If you have the headset, you're allowed to use it.
Oh, yeah, I thought in Jersey you weren't.
No, hands-free.
I thought it was either way.
Hands-free. If you have a headset, you're okay. But if you have one hand off the steering wheel to adjust the radio, it's okay.
Yeah, right?
Or to adjust the air conditioner.
My new car has the radio in the steering wheel.
Oh, is it the first time you have one of those?
Yeah.
I have a car that has the volume control doesn't work on the radio. I have to use the control of the steering wheel. Yeah. So, it's the first time I have that. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, I'm digging it.
You just have to not hit it accidentally because it'll cut out what you're listening to.
Yeah.
But I think that the fast, healthy food would be a big thing, and if anybody out there is interested in opening up a fast, healthy food restaurant, I would be interested in speaking to them about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Just for ideas, or maybe I don't know. I could get into a business like that. I definitely think it would do very well.
I think it would do great. You know what? At least there's always some people trying to eat healthy, man. I mean, it's not like,
Well, eating on the go is everybody's into that.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's no reason why it has to be garbage. That's my point. This is something that was so funny to me.
What's this?
About 5 years ago, I got somebody walked into my office, and they said they were from the XYZ company. I don't remember what it was, but they were going to be they were hired by the county to do groundwater testing in the area.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so they had picked several different places around the county or around the Stroud Township or whatever it was, where they were going to be drilling these long, deep shafts.
Yeah.
About 6 inches wide or 4 inches wide, and then using it for water samples. Mm-hmm. 2 of them fell in my parking lot. So they asked if it was okay if they drilled these holes in the parking lot, and I said, yeah, I don't care, that's fine, But they're going to be capped off, and then there's going to be a cover over the cap. And it'll be flat, just like the driveway, just like the parking lot. Yeah. I said, fine, no problem. And they did it. And apparently, allegedly, they come back every so often to take a water sample out of it, and they do testing, whatever. Well, I called them about a month ago to say that the cover on one of their things had come off.
Oh, all right.
And again, it's like a little manhole cover. It's about a foot wide, not very big.
It's got some bolts on it. You take it off.
It doesn't even have bolts. It just sits in place.
Oh, okay.
Okay, like a manhole.
Yeah.
And why do you think manholes have?
No, they do. Some of them do.
Bolts to hold
some
them
of them
down?
do. There's one to to keep them down, and then you pry it on the other side.
Oh, I never
so
saw
that just anybody can go up in there.
How many people go in there?
How do I know, man? I don't know. I don't know.
I never saw anybody.
I don't know if there's homeless guys trying to live in a manhole. I don't
really?
know.
Man hobos? Man hobos? I'm a hobo.
I like that, manhole hobos.
Man hobo. I don't imagine that happening. But anyway, because you know how heavy those manholes are?
No,
the covers?
They're
really heavy, like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this thing, which probably weighed about 10 pounds or whatever, but it was at a place that had slid off into the side, a couple of feet away.
Okay.
And I don't want to mess with this thing. I don't know what's, it's none of my business. It's not my thing. So I called them up. I called the township because I didn't have the number of the company, and I said, your thing came off or whatever. And they said, okay, we'll have somebody come down and take care of it. I came back to my office, and I found them working on it, and I walked over to see what they were doing. And I said, you're fixing that little cover? He says, yeah. He says, we're going to glue it in place.
Glue it?
And I said, wait a minute. You're going to glue it. Isn't that going to... the glue can't be... It must be toxic stuff. And isn't that going to leach down into the water?
Yeah, the water that you're testing?
That you're testing?
For purity, probably.
And the guy says, I don't know. That's a good question. I said, that's a good question.
Oh, these guys are funny.
So I don't know what the chances are we're going to have a clean rated water anytime soon. But apparently, if they find glue in our water, they're going to. There's glue in the water in Strand Township. Well, of course,
this is where we test our water for purity. We're going to put this cover on with rubber cement.
God. Amazing.
Get out of here.
Oh, gosh. Let's take another break. We will come back to Inside Dr. Herman's Head on Pocono 96.7 and 97.3. Just a couple of minutes.
I admitted I was powerless over my addiction, that my life had become unmanageable. I had tried to quit on my own, but it never worked. I was searching for an answer when I reached out and found Narcotics Anonymous. I came to my first NA meeting in defeat and didn't know what to expect. Surrounded by fellow addicts, I realized I was not alone. I heard them talk about the same feelings I was afraid to share. Recovery is what happens in NA meetings. It didn't matter what drug or how much I used. In Narcotics Anonymous, I learned it is possible to stop using drugs. I don't have to do it alone. Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help. 570-421-6618. 570-421-6618.
First Sergeant Aaron Tippett has been in the Army for 17 years and served multiple tours of duty in Iraq.
After returning from deployment, my friends and family noticed a significant difference in me, both mentally and socially. With their encouragement and support, I sought help for my invisible wounds and learned to cope with them effectively. I encourage any warrior coping with psychological health concerns to seek the care and support they need.
Resources are available and they work. Visit realwarriors.net or confidentially call 866-966-1020.
You're listening to Inside Dr. Herman's Head every Sunday night starting at 7 o'clock right here on Pocono 96.7. And now, back to the Good Doctor.
I like the old theme back.
It's comfortable. And it lets people know we're on.
We're on.
We are on.
Especially those people that were tormented those times where it just kept repeating for a half hour or so.
Oh, right? Oh, man, I got sick and tired of hearing it. One thing I don't get sick and tired of talking about is Thai orchid, but I want to talk just real quickly about the vegans. We mentioned healthy eating.
Yes.
And I don't imagine that eating in a vegetarian or vegan way is unhealthy at all, but I don't know that I could do it. You tried vegetarianism.
I did vegetarianism for years, a couple of years, but I mean, vegan is no animal product, so it's like no eggs, no cheese, no milk,
nothing
no
that
nothing.
ever came
and
from
that's good. Yeah, I'm a cheese guy.
I don't think I could even do vegetarianism. I might try it, but I don't think I could really stick with it because I really like meat. But even if you are vegan, you go all the way plant-based only. Mm-hmm. Thai orchid's got you covered. They can make anything they have. Well, a lot of their stuff is already vegan, and they can make anything vegan that you pick on the menu. They'll figure it out.
Nice.
Kanye makes everything to order.
Very accommodating.
Nothing sits around. Every single dish is made to order, and quickly too, because they know that there are people waiting for your seat at that table.
It is quick, man. You even sit down and eat in there though. But yeah, people are in and out.
Yeah, so people have asked Nick about why he doesn't have Wi-Fi there, and he said because the tables are turning over too quickly. Mm-hmm. I can't have people sitting there in their Wi-Fi, and he would love to do it.
Sitting there writing a novel, and
But they are going to be introducing something which I'm excited to talk about, but I can't talk about it yet. There's going to be something that he's going to do that nobody's done.
So we got a Thai orchid surprise in the future.
A Thai orchid surprise. It's going to be a Thai surprise.
Nice.
Taiwan on for Thai orchid. Give him a call. It's 570-421-1717. Let's talk about the pompatus of love.
What are we, Steve Miller?
Well, Steve Miller did invent the pompatus of love.
Yeah, he did.
It's the kind of thing that I thought for so very long. I wanted to know what it was. And every time I was thinking about that, I was not near a computer where I could check it out.
Yeah.
And I finally did the other day. Because I was in the office.
Was that song on?
The song came on the radio in the office. And I was sitting at the front doing some paperwork, and I said, finally, here's a computer. I'm gonna get myself schooled. I'm gonna get what's the word? I can never remember the word.
What?
God, I forgot it again.
When you learn something?
Yeah, when you learn something. It's the new slang word for it.
What?
To be in the know about something. Somebody give me a call, 570-420-9670.
I don't know if any of our listeners are going to have the new slang word.
Yeah, no. It's the word that means you know something. Anyway, so I figured, okay, I'm going to learn about the pompiness of love. And I looked it up. You know what I found out?
I want to know what you found out.
That there's no such thing as the pompiness of love.
No.
He made the word up for the song.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now, that led me to do a little more research because music is so important to me as it is to you.
Yes.
And you know what scatting is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jazz style.
Jazz style, although a lot of people have scatted, they weren't jazz.
Yeah, they took it other places, but that's where it started, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But it grew into rock and roll. Rock and roll used a lot of scatting.
Yep.
Anytime you're using any onomatopoeia, onomatopoetica, in rock and roll, it's scatting. Doobie doobie doo.
Yeah.
Okay, which was half of the 50s. That's all. That's all scatting.
The doo-wop and all that.
But so those aren't words. Okay, they're just sounds.
Yeah.
That's scatting. But when you start creating new words, okay, like the pompous of love,
I love making words
to fit into your songs. That's a whole different branch of what's going on over here. And I tried to think of as many other words that were created for songs as possible.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come up with that many. I came up with a couple.
Okay.
Do you remember Tukum Carry?
I don't know.
It's a song from the 60s. See if
you got it? You want me to grab it?
You want to see if you can pull it up?
Yeah, keep talking. Let me see.
It was a song, I think it was Johnny Ray or something. I don't know. Sang Tukum Carry, which was, I believe, is not a real place. And he sang this back in the 60s.
That's the name of the song?
Yes. Let's see. Okay, I got it.
You got it? All right.
I got it. Okay. Jimmy Rogers, Tukum Carry. That's the name of the song. Listen.
Okay.
12 more miles to Tucumcari, I've been hurrying there, to the gal I'm gonna marry with the yellowest hair. Left, right, march along, I just gotta get home. 10 more miles to Tucumcari, then I'll never more roam.
So that's Tucumcari, and I don't think that there was a real place Tucumcari. I think he made it up for the song.
How do you spell that?
Tucu.
Oh, okay.
Mcari.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a Spanish word, but I think he made it up. If anybody knows, let me know. I didn't really research that one, but I'd like to know. There's another one that I believe was made up that you would know.
What's that?
It's a song that was sang by It was sung by whatever Phil Collins.
All right, Phil.
Called Susudio.
Susudio, yeah, I think that's fake too.
Okay, remember the Susudio?
Yeah, of course.
Let's put a little Susudio on there. I do believe. Yep, I got it.
Okay.
It's amazing because I have no letters on my keys, but I figured it out. Susudio. People who don't know from this from the 80s was a big hit for Phil Collins.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
big
bring it up.
What was that? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good song.
No, it is a good song.
Heavy beat, really good song.
Great scene in American Psycho.
Really? You remember that?
Yeah. I do this all the time. I listen to songs and I remember what movies are from.
I don't always remember the songs in the movies. But you know, I remember Susudio because it came out. The song actually came out the same time as another Phil Collins song. He released it with Phil Bailey called. Come on, help me out here. Phil Collins and Phil Bailey.
Phil Collins. I don't even know who Phil Bailey is. Wasn't that at the same time as In the Air Tonight and all that stuff?
No, yeah. Phil Bailey, Easy Lover was the name of the song.
Oh, I have no idea.
Phil Bailey was from the from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh.
You don't remember Easy Lover?
EWF, huh?
You don't remember Easy Lover?
No, I'm not sure.
No.
And I used to live, one of my roommates, man, he was the Phil Collins. Give me a second. song. Yep. Awesome.
Very good song. And that came out, that was at the same time as Susudio. But anyway, getting back to what we're talking about, Susudio being a made-up word, I don't know, I just, I was looking for more songs with made-up words. So if anybody else can think of more songs with made-up words in it, I'm collecting them.
I know I got a few. I just can't, at the moment, I can't think of some, but
okay. You'll come up with
might have to revisit.
Because there were other words that they came up with, but they actually were like tutti frutti.
Yeah.
What did I come up with over here? Doobie Doobie Doo. My father's best friend in high school, Neil Sedaka, came up with a lot of Doobie Doo songs.
Yeah, what about that stuff in the 50s that like Shamalama Ding Dongs and stuff like that?
Yeah, but that's more onomatopoeia, you know? That's not, they never tried to pass it off as a word.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, Steve Miller with Pompatus, that was the absolute, epitome of trying to come up and make it sound like a word. Even before jazz, Turalura Laura, which is a Bing Crosby song.
Oh.
Really? You don't know Turalura Laura?
I don't know, man.
Famous Irish song. They just sing Turalura.
Oh, maybe that's why I don't know it.
Your mom knows that song, I guarantee.
It's Irish.
She's got Irish in her, right?
No.
No, it's pure German. All German.
Yeah. I never told you how I feel about the Irish.
I didn't know you had a feeling about the Irish. You have an opinion on the Irish?
Yeah. It's the one that after traveling the world and seeing everything I've done and being everywhere I've been and hanging out with all the types of people I've been.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the one stereotype that's just true about like Irish people and drinking.
Oh yeah,
it's like 100% true, and it happens to be that like 80% of my friends are Irish, so I was always a babysitter. Pretty much is what happened. You go out for a night of drinking, you turn into the babysitter because your Irish friends can't handle the booze, and it made me. I got a little sour after. You know what I mean? Like,
well, first of all, let's not make a mistake with the stereotype thing. Stereotypes are people don't like stereotypes,
right?
And they don't like them because they're pretty much based in truth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I've a lot of the other ones though. I've not seen that. You know what I mean? Like, because I've experienced some stuff where I'm like, okay, I can see how this is not true.
Oh, I don't know a single Irish person who would not disagree. I'm sorry, who would disagree?
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man.
Yeah,
you can have an Irish guy who's perfect. You give him 2 shots of something, different person.
Now, don't people? Because I've never been a really heavy drinker. Don't people who drink a lot eventually become immune to some aspect of it?
Now you would think so.
And I guess you wouldn't have alcoholics if that was the case.
Well, no, I mean, you would think, but that's the thing, though. It's like you level out, you drink, and you don't act drunk. But if that alcoholic guy didn't have it, you'd know he didn't have it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's just a whole personality change, man.
I've known my share of
and you
Irish
can't knock them down. They don't pass out like a normal person should. They'll just keep going.
Really?
And then just be like, and then you tell them like, yo, man, last night you did this, this, and this, and I'm pissed. Oh, you can't blame me for that. I was drinking.
Yeah, it's my other self. I was Mr. Hyde, man.
You can't blame me for that. Get out of here.
That's funny.
It was you.
I haven't had the experience. I like I said, not a heavy drinker.
So
but
St. Patty's Day is always when I can't stand.
I did have a conversation the other day with talking about stereotypes with a patient of mine who is black.
There you go.
And we were talking about he was down south visiting some relatives of his, and he went to church with them, and he was talking about the Black Baptist church experience in the South.
That's great, man.
They get very heavily into it. They dance, they sing, they clap. It's all based on music. It's all based on praise and the whole
How
thing.
It should be, man. That's
okay.
A fun time.
But then the funny thing is, you talk to a white Baptist about dancing.
Yeah.
Forget about in church, even out of church. Yeah. The Lord doesn't like dancing. You know what I mean? They're very stoic, but they're both Baptists. It's not like if you're talking about an evangelical or a Lutheran or a Protestant and a Baptist. Yeah. It's a Baptist and a Baptist.
Man, going to a Black Baptist church on Sunday is like every Sunday I'm going to a cookout party.
Oh,
you know,
man.
like that stuff's crazy. It's great.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in chiropractic college, but I went to school in South Carolina. In Spartanburg, South Carolina, which is in the upstate, is what they call it. It's halfway between Greenville, with the Greenville-Clemson area, and Charlotte, North Carolina. And right at the very close to the border in northern South Carolina. And when I was doing my internship, a classmate of mine, this guy Dennis, was trying to think, because he wanted to build up a very big practice in his internship. So he wanted to expose as many people to chiropractic as possible who didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
So, he wanted to do a talk about chiropractic to a large group of people.
Sure.
And this was a white guy, a Jewish guy from, I believe, Queens.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't Brooklyn. I was the Jew from Brooklyn. He was the Jew from Queens. And he joined a Black Baptist church.
Nice.
He was as out of place there as, it was like a white piece of rice in a big bowl of black rice. And he went every single weekend, every Sunday he was there, and he did, well, it certainly didn't interfere with the Shabbat.
Yeah.
So he would go on Sunday morning, and he went crazy with these people. He got so close to all of them and did his talk in the church after church hours. He developed the biggest practice in the school's history. He had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patients.
That's awesome.
All from the congregation of this church.
That's a good story. That's awesome.
And when I talked to him about the church, he says, whatever. He says, it's I'm there, I have fun. There's lots of dancing.
Yeah.
He says, these people got rhythm like there's no tomorrow. I love the music, whatever. So he says he wasn't too crazy about the Jewish guy nailed to the plus sign up on the...
The plus sign.
He said, I don't know what they have against math over there, but they had this Jew stapled to a plus sign.
Yeah.
But
this is for all the Jew accountants.
Yeah, my accountant's up there. That's really funny. But he found his way to get a big practice there. I think he actually stayed there in that area after graduation because.
Good for him. I wouldn't leave either. It sounded like he was doing well. So.
Yeah, he was a funny guy.
That's pretty cool.
Speaking of funny guys.
Oh, yeah?
Time to say goodnight to a funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Warmth. That's what they called him.
I know.
You don't call Don Rickles Mr. Warmth?
Who? It had to be one of the Rat Pack dudes,
No.
No?
Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson. Okay, all right.
He was on Johnny Carson's show over 100 times.
Yeah, I just watched. I went on YouTube and I watched this huge thing, man. Just with all these old school clips of him at the Dean Martin roast and on Johnny Carson and everything. I was laughing the whole time.
He did something that very, very few people have ever done. He did something that was even more. Now, when they talk about pioneers in stand-up comedy, one of the first names that comes to mind is Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
Now, Lenny Bruce went to jail lots of times for using vulgarity.
He was like the first filthy comic.
Right.
Yeah.
But he didn't really invent that so much.
Right.
There were other people doing it clandestinely before him. Don Rickles invented something that nobody ever did before. And that's insult comedy.
Yeah. The roast.
He ripped people apart. He never prepared for anything. He never knew what he was going to say. He never knew what he was going to do. He was one of the fastest, sharpest guys that ever was. And so many people don't know who he was.
Yeah.
In the X generation and the millennials have no idea. And it's really a shame because they're not going to know.
That's why I loved in you ever see Dirty Work? Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang?
Yes.
And just when they got the job at the movie theater and Don Rickles was the theater manager, I love they threw him in there and he's picking on Artie and he's like, "There you are, Tubby. You look like a tub of lard on a bad day." He's like, "Hey, guess what? Baskin Robbins called. They said they're down to 5 flavors."
The fact that you could barely go a month without seeing him on the Johnny Carson show and the funny thing is, I've just called myself calling it the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah.
It's actually the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, which is the same show that.
Yeah, but nobody ever said that.
Jimmy
Everybody was
Fallon
like, "I'm watching Johnny Carson."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays people say they're watching Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody had it though. I'm watching Letterman. I'm watching.
I don't
Carson.
say I'm watching Jimmy Fallon. Just want to make sure people know that. So, but
yeah,
they say I'm watching. Right, so I'm going to watch David
Conan.
Letterman.
I'm watching Leno. Whatever.
But he was phenomenal. And if you ever get a chance for the millennials that are listening to go online and actually look up some Don Rickles stand up, he spent all of his time in the audience, not on the stage. Yeah. He rarely let a person get by. You know, he picked on every single person. Amazing, absolutely amazing, and he was the king of that. There are still, even, I don't know any comedians nowadays that solely do insult comedy.
Lisa Lampanelli.
I was hoping you wouldn't say it. It came to my mind as you said it.
I mean, that's it.
And she stinks.
And she's not good.
I don't like her at all. There's something different about the way she did it. She does it from the way that he did it.
Yeah.
Well,
her whole thing is just, it's all race based. It's all,
dude. I won't even. Let's not talk about her.
No,
I don't want to even give her any mention. Forget what we said. Who?
Yeah.
But you know what? The people that thought of putting Don Rickles into into that, into this, just trying to give him a little something as he got older, like the fact that he was Mr. Potato Head in the Toy Story.
Yeah.
They try to give him a little work here and there. Was so magnanimous of them to do because he was so wonderful in what he did, and he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed by a lot of people, and I wish that the millennials had more exposure to that.
Serious.
Well, that was a nice hour.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. We hit on a few things, and I got a few things for next week, too.
Sweet.
We want to thank you for joining us on Inside Dr. Herman's Head, which, by the way, was brought to you by Thai Orchid. They have both dine-in or take-out. Give them a call at 570-421-1717. They are in Stroudsburg, 30 North 9th Street on Route 611. Biggshow, as usual, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
And we'll be here again, like we are always, Sunday night at 7 o'clock on Pocono 96.7 and 97.3. Have a fantastic week, and we will catch up with you guys next week.
All right.
Have
Peace out.